So for those of you who are just like joining us, this week is all about notes to our younger selves. So let's get started. Yeah. Get your hands dirty a little bit. You don't have to grow up so fast. I know that sometimes being an adult seems so easy, but it's not. And there's only so long that you get to be a kid. And I know that everyone will tell you that and you'll never believe them, but trust me, it's true. There's only so long that you can play in the sandbox. There's only so long that you can play games of imaginary where you build tree forts in the mountains and catch lizards and pretend that you're in Lord of the Rings or something like that. Some silly thing that you tend to do. There's a lot of time to be an adult, and while it will be amazing and fun and you'll love every minute of it, you'll definitely miss being a kid, and you'll wish that you were more of a kid when you had the chance. So play outside more, hang out with your friends more. Don't get so caught up in growing up and going off to college, because you started planning for college when you were in the 3rd grade, and really that kept your mind so narrow to the possibilities of the world around you. The next thing that I would tell you is kindness and empathy are more important than anything. You can be awesome at everything. You can be the most intelligent person, but if you don't have kindness and empathy to relate to those around you and to better the world in some way, none of it's going to matter. There's a time in your life where you really could have been considered a bully for the most part, and that never needed to happen. I'm glad you learned it pretty quickly, but as you know that there are days where you don't want to explain yourself, but it would be so nice just to have somebody be kind, like extra nice to you that day. And knowing that, you should just be extra nice and kind to anybody. You don't need a reason to be kind. You don't need a reason to be empathetic. Just do it. Do it to anybody. They don't have to deserve it. Don't worry about getting even or taking revenge or whatever, because all of that just kind of comes back to you and bites you, and it leaves this kind of ugly, heavy mark on your heart, right? So if you can learn kindness and empathy sooner and give it to everybody, regardless of who they are and what they've done to you, regardless if they deserve it or not, be kind and empathetic. The other thing that I would tell you, don't get so caught up in everyone else's expectations for you. People will always expect certain things out of you, whether it's becoming an engineer or whatever, really. And you will always feel this compulsion to satisfy them, to, live up to those expectations. But the thing is those expectations will keep you from the expectations you have of yourself. Those expectations will keep you from pursuing your own passions and finding your own path, and that will burden you and hurt and ruin you far beyond anything else. You are a human being made to create and made to pursue this potential inside of you, and anything that keeps you from pursuing this potential is going to be detrimental to your future. So while other people's expectations for you and of you may be well placed, if they don't come from you, they don't matter. I think that's a really big one, because this idea of living up to everyone else's expectations really tugs at you for a really long time, and you can't shake it, and it will lead to some really bad nights and some months of depression and self-hate and self-harm and hate, really. And it's not worth it. The only thing that's worth it is the way that you compel yourself towards some greater purpose. There's this saying, and I don't remember where it's from. I think it's the Tao Te Ching, but I don't remember. That's really all about this idea that when you are on your right path and doing what you should be doing, the world kind of opens up for you. And it's like going down a river with the current, and everything's easy and everything flows naturally, and this energy that you give out is well spent. When you're not going on the path that you're supposed to, when you're trying to, live up to other people's expectations, you're going to go against the current. The whole world's going to close off to you, and everything is going to feel difficult. Everything's going to be hard, and life really is just going to be miserable, basically. It's going to be an obstacle after an obstacle after an obstacle. And the reason why those obstacles are placed are because it's trying to point you in the right direction. It's basically just saying, stop, this is the right way. Re-examine your life for a second and rethink, is this the direction you really want to go? Because in the end, it's not. And I think all of this kind of builds up on a final concept of breathing. I know that sometimes you will feel so alone and that your whole world is falling apart. And sometimes there will be a few times where your whole world really will fall apart. You'll lose everything. You'll lose your friends. You'll lose everything you ever counted on and everything you ever thought was like who you were or who you are or whatever. And you will hit rock bottom, essentially, or at least your version of rock bottom, and it will feel like you will never be able to get your way out, essentially. You will feel like you're stuck there, and for a while you will be. But if you can remember to stop, take a deep breath every once in a while, and put one more foot in front of the other and move forward just a little bit more, eventually you will reach beautiful things. You will even get a tattoo on your arm to remind you that breathing is the most important thing. Just keep moving forward, because eventually you will reach a point in your life where happiness comes so naturally. You will meet a girl who actually compels you to be better than yours, to be the best version of yourself. You will finally be on the right path towards wherever you're supposed to go, and everything in the past won't really matter anymore. So yeah, keep pushing forward and try to get to that point, because it's so worth it. So hopefully I will see you in a few years.